The time has come. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DreamHack Open 2015 Valencia Grand Finals. We had over 100 players come down to Valencia, Spain to compete for guts, glory, and a hell of a lot of cash in WCS points, but only 2 remain. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in and following the course of this tournament. Before we get to the grand final, I want to give another big thanks to our awesome sponsors, whom without none of this would be possible. Those sponsors being ISO, Razer, Intel, and Monster Energy. Thank you guys so much for your support throughout the DreamHack Open this year. Guys, we've got a hell of a grand final. 2 players that don't have titles, looking to claim them. 2 players that only have this on the line. There's not much else going for either of them this year yet.
These guys are going to be battling it out. They're going to be scratching each other, punching each other. It's all coming down to this, Nathanius, and how good a finals it is going to be. Another ZvZ here between Curious and True. These guys have proven it before. They are both so good in the matchup, but who is going to be the victor?
That's what it's all about. True really surprising us in that semifinals, dominating Hyun, a player who has some of the world's best ZvZ right now. I was so surprised that I can't wait to get onto him versus Curious. It's just going to be incredible.
Yeah, he absolutely wrecked him in that second semifinal, as we just saw. And for those of you just tuning in, anyone that hasn't been following with this, we're going to take another look at the bracket so that we can see how we got here. All the matchups, all the upsets, and I would say there were quite a few, Wax Angel.
Oh no, like from the start, the beginning of the tournament, the story was, foreigner upsets over Koreans. But as time went on, we saw the foreigners drop out, and now we had a lot of Terran players who were probably the strongest candidates coming in, like Kumio, Fantasy, guys like that. But then a lot of upsets coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them get upset both by Patience, who we knew was a threat. We didn't really put him that high up there, and then we also talked about how Curious was alone in that corner of the bracket. There were no other Koreans for him to play against, but he showed up and he did what he needed to do to actually make it this far, which is impressive on its own.
Yeah, I mean, his biggest test was Patience in the semis, and he did absolutely fine there. He was looking great. Yeah, he did have that easy, I wouldn't say easy, but a little less difficult sort of corner of the bracket, making it his way up there. But I always knew that he was, or we always knew that he was a very good Zerg player, one of the best coming into this. So it's no surprise that he finally made it to the grand finals, and it's going to be an interesting one.
He's long overdue for some sort of result. Curious has been around forever, since the beginning of StarCraft 2. He's made multiple codesses. He's been respected as a very solid, consistent player. But where does that get you? Consistency. It gets you some respect. People, maybe the hardcore fans talk about you, but it doesn't get you any fame or glory. So right now, it's this is maybe his only chance in his career. He's said multiple times before that he's gonna be retiring soon.
That's right.
So this could be his last chance to really go out with a bang.
Yeah, he's certainly waited. He's been saying recently, this year alone, even in his last GSL season, that he might just give it up this if he fails and if he falls out too early. But he did make it pretty far in that tournament, and he made it to here, and now he's in the grand final. It's all happening 5 years after he debuted in StarCraft 2.
It's a big opportunity for both of these players, especially True, who has kind of come into this, and he's gotten slowly but surely more and more serious as we've approached this grand final. Really excited to see, because both of these guys, this title will mean so much to them, just for all the time that they spend practicing, preparing, coming out, flying across the world to compete in tournaments like this. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to meet our grand finalists. We're going to go to the main stage with Smix.
Thank you very much, Nathanius. You guys here in Spain, I know you have been waiting for this. Welcome everybody to the grand finals of DreamHack Open Valencia.
Great bundles going down, the Ultra's closing oh so quickly. Roach and Hydra all over the place. He runs straight past that tree, goes straight for the Roaches here. What a move, what a build, what a strategy.
We started with over 100 players, and this is it. It is down to these two who will fight for $10,000 as well as the title of DreamHack Open Valencia champion. I want you guys to give a warm welcome to Curious and True. Curious, this is your first time in the grand finals. You talked about how much it means to you as a pro gamer to finally reach this moment. Please tell everybody here in Valencia, Spain, as well as those watching online, why they should be cheering for you over True.
일단 아까 전 인터뷰를 했을 때 이렇게 뭐 선수로서 이렇게 결승까지 오는 것도 꿈이고 우승하는 것도 꿈이라고 했었는데 이제 막상 여기 왔으니까 우승하고 싶은 마음이 클 거 아니에요. 이제 팬들한테 왜 이문표 선수를 응원해야 되는지 얘기해 주세요.
사실 요번에 결승 처음 올라왔는데 결승에 올라가게 되면은 꼭 무조건 우승을 하고 싶고 그렇기 때문에 평소에도 연습을 정말 열심히 했고 우승할 준비가 되어 있다고 생각해요. 그래서 오늘이 그 날이 될 것 같아요. 그 모습을 보여줄 수 있을 것 같아요 오늘. 네.
So he says, I've always told myself if I have the opportunity to come to the grand finals, that I would seize that opportunity and become a champion. And because of this, I've been practicing so hard leading up to this moment. And I feel that today I am ready to become a champion and I'm going to seize this opportunity. Now, True, you are also in the grand finals of a premier tournament for the very first time. You heard what Curious had to say. Please tell all the fans why they should cheer for you over Curious. 일단 그 트루 선수도 이번이 처음 결승인데 지금 방금 이문표 선수가 무슨 말을 했는지 들었는데 팬들이 왜 그 트루 선수를 응원해야 되는지 얘기해 주세요.
저를 왜 응원해야 되는지. 저는 일단 제가 꼭 우승해야 하기 때문에 제가 의지가 더 강한 것 같고 누가 의지가 더 강한지 싸움인 것 같아요.
So he says, again, he's being enigmatic and mentioning that reason he stated earlier. He says, I told you guys earlier, I have a definitive reason why I must win today. So because of that, I think that my purpose is stronger. And this grand finals, I believe, will be a battle between whose determination to become a champion is stronger. And it's time to find out. Gentlemen, please shake hands. Only one of these two will be titled DreamHack Open Valencia champion. Who will it be? Nathanius, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mix. Always good to hear once again just that elusive, enigmatic secret that True has been keeping in his pocket all day. He was so jovial yesterday. He was so up and at it. Today, he's stone cold killer. Guys, what's going on?
It's kind of scary, actually. He's so serious right now. He's either so nervous or he's just so determined to try and win these grand finals. And yeah, whatever this secret is, I hope it's not too bad, and I hope he doesn't really have to win this for some reason.
For some reason, I don't even feel the nerves for me. It's like he's almost like gaining this determination slowly, and it's all this big culmination here in the finals. He's slowly choosing the right words, and he's like, I am going to win this finals, and for that, I will side with him.
Yeah, and I gotta disagree. Like, I can't really predict this matchup in terms of who will win because it's a very close ZvZ in terms of skill, but who deserves to win this matchup? Like, okay, so saying deserve in StarCraft is kind of silly because it's a really harsh game. There's no such thing as deserve or fair. Whoever plays better wins. But if there could be such a thing as deserving, then Curious deserves it. He's been around forever. And like, if you've been around since 2011, you'll remember that Curious back then. He was a joker. He was a jovial guy. He wasn't this stoic guy we see right now who barely cracks a smile. But over the years, all of this time being stuck in mediocrity, yeah, I mean, like, it's kept him in the scene, it's kept him sort of relevant, but it just wore away at him, and he's just become this guy who's kind of just like, comes in, punches the card, puts in the GSTL showing, Pro League showing, and this is finally his time to get away from that, become a champion, be someone else.
Yeah. It's that big breakthrough moment for both of these players as they've been working so hard and really trying to branch out, playing these big tournaments. I mean, look at Curious, he's 25 years old, We talk about not having that big title, not a big heavy hitter in anything like Pro League. This is his chance to really set himself apart from basically everybody else in this tournament. We talked the whole way through. Curious was one of the players that, you guys especially talked up more during the beginning when we were talking about guys like him, like Fantasy, like Gumiho. But Curious is one of the other players that stood out when we said, he actually could take out everybody else here. Does he still have what it takes?
That is the question. I mean, he's looking great so far, and it has been so long. It's so long coming for him to finally get a break in StarCraft. As Wax said, he's been in GSL for so long. He was one of the most consistent there, but he never got even close to the grand finals. And he was a great Zerg player and still is to this day, which is also a huge feat in itself.
Yeah, it really comes down to, it's not even about WCS points anymore. It really is about this big title. They both want it so badly. It's going to be a gigantic fight.
Yeah, true. 23 years old. These guys aren't too far apart in age. This is really just all about getting the respect that I guess both of these guys want, bringing out that determination. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get into this grand finals. Thank all of you so much for coming out here to Valencia, so much for watching online. Moonglade, Valdez, good luck, have fun.
Welcome back, everybody. We are about to get started on this gigantic ZvZ Grand Finals. I am, of course, Valdez with me. Today is Moonglade. How are you feeling about this finals?
So excited, Valdez. These two Zerg players, it is a ZvZ, but these players, they've wanted it so much, as we talked about in the panel. It's actually insane how long they've been waiting for this chance and this opportunity to get there, and then they're finally there, and both players just want it so badly.
Yeah, we saw one ZvZ in the semifinals there between True and Hyun. Will he feel comfortable in this matchup, or will Curious be able to take it? Let's jump into game number 1 right now. And down here in the bottom right, in the red, everybody give it up for True.
Has a secret reason for winning this one. Looks so determined, so serious in that interview. But up here in the top left, a player who's been around for so many years with no success, it is Curious.
Will he find that success tonight? That is the question on everybody's minds. And man, we just had one crazy ZvZ. Tons of weird build orders coming in. Build order wins, build order losses, but True wants to get it started on his own terms. He's going to go with that 9 pool.
Hey, not a bad choice against someone like Curious. Curious is a very greedy player. We're going to have to wait and see exactly what kind of build order he wants to do, though. Is it going to be that hatchery first or the pool?
We saw True really having Hyun's number in that last series. He knew exactly what he was going to do, and every time he had this series under control the entire time. And maybe, just maybe, has he got a read here on Curious? All eyes on Curious, waiting to see what he is going to do. What build will he go for?
Yeah, what is his next move here? We still don't know for sure. It looks like it is going to be the pool to start things off. He's going to be in a very good place against this kind of all-in, as we did see True defend against
Hyun.
Hyun, thank you, Bella, in that last game. It made such a big difference. Things still can go wrong for Curious, though, if he is not prepared, if he mismicros just a little bit.
Yep, especially with this gas coming in here for True. You think this is going to be Banelings as the follow-up with this really fast pool?
It certainly will be. On a map like this, there's no real other option. It is a 2-player map after all. The Overlords are going to be scouting very quickly. He's going to get an idea these Lings are coming across the map, and Curious should be feeling very confident right now.
He really should be, especially as he sees these Lings coming in. This is his first note, seeing exactly what True is going for. And here come the Lings. Baneling Nest does go down in the main of True now.
And that's going down. Lings are coming out as well as a queen. And Curious is looking in a good place to defend against this. He's going to get those Lings out in time. There's going to be no real drone damage from the Lings themselves. He's going to have to wait for those Banelings to go up that ramp. Maybe he's just going to simply try and cancel this hatchery. We certainly didn't see Hyun do that.
No, he wanted to go for the more direct damage. Still, the Baneling Nest is not done. He cannot morph any Banelings just yet. He will use those as advantage once the building does get complete.
Yeah, Curious has to be very careful of how he uses these drones in the army as well. He's kind of just making sure he cannot cancel this hatchery. But he's still got to be careful. He can't really afford to lose them as well. Two banelings are being morphed at this point.
They're very far away there. They're being totally hidden from Curious. It looks like he wants to bait him through the line of sight. Blocker, is Curious going to bite the bait? No.
Man. He's being
so
very
smart.
Yeah, you got to be so careful at this point. You cannot afford to lose lings. Splitting them up so close.
So unbelievably close. That one baneling out was pretty good.
That was a massive hit. There's only 3 lings left over against the 12 of True right now.
It's really, once again, about going for these big baneling hits. That was a gigantic one, hitting another big number of lings. The Queen does get a very nice position, but True doesn't look like he's going to stop anytime soon.
Absolutely not. There's another Queen in the main base, but looks like lings are going to go for the surround here. Really nicely done from True. Perfect micro considering the situation.
Oh, he's going to go for the drones.
Oh, not nearly enough. That was the mistake, I think. That was the one that's going to make things a lot harder. A lot more lings are out now for Curious as well. One baneling looking for the hits, but it's desperate times now.
Yeah, I think he needs to go for those other 2 weak drones. They're over there on the left side. He's not going to go for it. This baneling is only going to trade with 2 lings.
Oh, now an Overlord actually underneath that Queen. If it's allowed to be DPS down, it's going to put True in a horrible place.
Looks like these lings may just be able to save it.
Yeah, looking to do that. But more lings coming down. Now 2 Queens are going to start working on this
Oh,
Overlord.
man. The Overlord will go down.
Oh, no. He's going to have a horrible time. His economy is so low. He's on 9 workers right now.
Yeah, look at exactly where we stand. Curious on 2 base, True only 1 base. The only, I guess, chance that he does have is going for that follow-up with the speedlings and maybe getting some crucial baneling hits.
Yeah, he is so all in from this. And it's just going to be so hard if Curious finishes this spine crawl, if he gets the Sim City up, maybe sits on the ramp with his Queens and makes enough lings down below, it's going to be so hard for True to try and break through.
Yeah. Really, right now, True's just going to be banking on a big mistake from Curious. We did see some decent baneling hits earlier on, maybe a little bit of missed micro earlier on in the series here from Curious, but let's see if he can recreate those baneling hits once again.
Well, he's going to start triggering off these banes again. And Speed still a little way away from finishing, but he's going to go in for the aggression now. A couple of Queens, though, with very, a lot of energy on these Queens. A decent amount of transfusion is going to keep them both alive as well as his spines.
He's going for the big hits here. That's all he really can do. But the lings coming around here, he's going to get one of these banelings, but they will all go down.
No, 1 spine repositioning right now. Still not enough banelings to really get the job done.
Looks like he wants to go for it while that spine is burrowing, and he gets up the ramp.
Big mistake from Curious, but still, only 1 baneling survives. But if he can get the drone hit, maybe he can get it done. But the Queen very smartly targeting it down.
Really nice. And look at this, the transfuse is coming down here. These lings not doing any damage. GG, Curious will win game number 1.
Very nicely done from Curious. He chose the right builder, and that's what it comes down to when you're going to be going for an early baneling attack like that.
I love it. We see so many Zergs come out in series like this, big series. They want to get the ball rolling in their court. They go for a bit of a chance, but when they play against a very smart Zerg like Curious, sometimes they drop the ball.
That's right. We saw the same start from Hyun in the last series as well, not getting it against True. So True making that same kind of missed call in starting the series off here.
Yeah. I really love when those Zergs go for just that very safe pool in the first series, It's just going to capture so many of these very early aggressive builds and just really turn the game in your favor. Even if your opponent does go for that early hatch, you're only going to be slightly behind.
Yeah, it certainly speaks about, Curious's style as well. He's not the kind of Zerg that's going to be insanely aggressive, really throw caution to the wind that often. He's going to try and play those macro games as much as possible, sit back and try and absorb the opponent and play the defensive Zerg.
Yeah, for sure. True looking a little bit tense there in the booth. He's been talking so much the entire night about how he's got this special reason. We still don't know what it's going to be, and we may not even know if he doesn't win the series.
Oh, that would be heartbreaking. That's all I want to find out, fellas. It's actually conquering my mind right now. What is this? The secret, this problem, I don't even know what it is anymore.
It's like the M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end of the movie or something. Will we see it or will we not here?
You just ruin a movie for me, Dallas.
No, man.
I've never seen that. No. But we're going to find out soon. Bridgehead's going to be the next map. We did see True play very well on this map as well.
He looks like he had it figured out here in ZvZ at least. But at the same time, Hyun didn't do the best job. We'll see if Curious will be able to go toe-to-toe with True. True's been playing so smart so far. But down in the series 0-1 already, the countdown has started, and we are about to get into game number 2 here on Bridgehead between Curious of Spenu and, of course, True from Dead Pixels.
That's right. Jumping in just a moment's time.
Here we go, going into game number 2 on the right side of the map in the red. It is True.
Has to bring it back in this game. Doesn't want to go down another one. And here on the left, we do have the player up a game currently, the Zerg, who is blue. It is Curious. Let's see how they're going to start things off here. We did see a pretty healthy macro game last time True played on this. He wasn't planning to be very aggressive, and I think we might see the same kind of style from both players.
Yeah, in the last game, I think we saw from both of the Zergs just that 15 pool into that very quick 15 hatch, just to be safe. Wouldn't be surprised to see it happen again.
I would even like Curious at this point, now that he's up a game comfortably, go for that 15 hatchery, play that greedy game from here. Because it's much less likely True's going to go for that kind of style again.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, but we'll see if he is, confident enough at least here to go for something like that.
A reason why I think that as well is because he is so serious, he wants this so bad that I think he's going to make the mistake of not taking any more or many more chances, Yeah. He might want to just sit back now. It's like, okay, I took the chance in this series, it's best of 5. Now I'm going to sit back and have a macro game at the very least, and it looks like he's going to make the right choice again.
For some reason, it looks like these are switching places in terms of mindsets. Curious just once again going to go very safe here. Really can't fault him for it.
He could also be one of these Zergs that no matter what, go for 15 pull, because they do exist. They'll just throw it out, be like, you know what, I'm just going to make sure I never die to early bailings.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I said before, Sometimes you can knock out so many of these other very aggressive builds just by going for that, and you won't get too far behind.
Yeah, it doesn't really put you that far behind, so you can get away with it nearly every series. It's not the worst thing ever. And now True, he's actually going to go for that gas before pool and get a pretty healthy gas count. Going to get those lings out with speed pretty early on here.
Curious going to go for his own gas here, albeit a little bit later. Of course, the Overlord's going to scout each other's bases here.
That's right. He's going to scout that the hatchery is making a birthing a queen right now.
Birthing
indeed, Valdez. And well, we're going to kind of get an idea of exactly what each other are doing. Curious coming in here now. Going to scout that it was that hatchery first with an early gas. So he knows the timing of when speedlings are going to be a threat in the map, when he's got to be a little bit more careful here. The next kind of step is he going to be making bailings behind us? He's going to see an early bailing nest and maybe more aggression from True.
It could just be the case, just to be a little bit safer. I think we saw it was True on this map the last time. He went into just like a safety bailing nest into a lair pretty quick, and then he got out those mutas.
Yeah, he's tried to sneak out very quick mutas, and not a bad choice on this map. You are pretty well defended. It's pretty hard to do any sort of early roach timing. It's such a long way towards that main base.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out as well, I'm sure Curious was watching that last series between True and Hyun. So he's like, okay, I got an idea of the way that True really likes to play ZvZ in the here and now. It's not even like recent results. He saw 3 games before his eyes. And he did see the build that he did last time, so.
Well, this time around, both of them throwing down the bailing nest, getting that ling speed out. Nothing out of the ordinary just yet. It really comes down to how many lings are we going to be seeing made from both players. If there's going to be a huge swell from one side or just a couple to make enough banelings in case one chooses to be aggressive.
Yeah, so far just 4 from both sides. Kind of the safety number. You get a decent number of those lings out on the map. You can get some map control. And off the back of that, both of these guys just going to drone up as hard as possible.
Well, look at this, fellas. We are actually seeing a Roach Warren come down very early on here, so I believe True intends to be quite aggressive on this map.
And it's all the way in the back there, so it's going to be extremely hard for Curious to get any kind of scouting information on that. We saw the last time in the series, both players getting speedlings into the mains over and over and over again for that very crucial scouting information.
Yeah, it's not easy to kind of stop this from happening because that ramp is pretty far from the main. The creep can't get up there very easily. That is also a pretty big ramp, so speedlings are going to always have a chance to get up there. And this is a very important scout for Curious. If he can get down to that natural and finds the Roach Warren, he'll know exactly what's going on here.
Slips on through. The drone's not going to help either, and he will get the full scout of the base of True.
He's going to get the full tour. He sees that. And let's see what the reaction is from Curious. Are we going to see a bunch of spines go down, or maybe a Roach Warren of his own? He's going to be very careful here. He's going to see 1 spine for now. This is a very, very dangerous build that we are seeing from True, though. And he's going to need a lot more than that.
Yeah, it looked like, Curious was thinking about, I guess, going into some kind of lair tech here. He didn't get that fourth gas, though.
No, here we go. A lot of roaches coming out and a lot of lings behind it. 22 lings on the way.
Don't forget, he's also got that Baneling nest, so it's going to be Ling, Bane, Roach, pretty much all in from this point. Stopping at 32 workers right now is true.
That's right. We do see some more lings come out from Curious, but he's going to stay on this mute attack. He's simply going to be like, okay, all I need is Spines, Lings, and Banes to deal with this. And that's going to be a hard a hard defense there. Spire is down, though, so if he can buy enough time for the mutas to get out, he should be okay unless he takes a lot of economic damage.
Curious runs up that bridge and he's like, oh, you got a bunch of Banelings. I got to be really careful. He does have his own Baneling nest and he's morphing a ton of Banelings here on the top of the ramp. He's also getting those Spine Crawlers up.
I know that's right, but still, it's going to be so hard for his Banelings to hit these opponents if these Roaches are in the way. Roaches can two-shot Banelings as well as absorb a lot of them.
Yep. Here are the Banelings. He does get the scout. He does knows that is coming in here. Here come the Banes of True running up the ramp, trying to get those hits, but not doing so successfully.
Yeah, nice micros so far, but so many more Banelings coming up here. He's going for the big hit on the Roaches to try and soften them up as well as get the big clump of Banes of Shrews. So far holding it off, and a lot of Spineclaws are finishing up here.
Oh man, he's got 4 of them up here. He's making 2 more, but can True get the damage necessary here? He's hesitating here. He's trying to go for the mineral line, but he's just going to back off. So many of these Banes going down, not finding that damage.
Oh, well, the Lings at the back actually cleaned up a lot of Lings and Roaches as well. More Lings coming out. The Spire's just about to finish. Does he actually have enough larvae to make mutas? That is the next question here.
There is the question.
Banelings looking for big hits as well. 9 drones going down.
Oh, that is a really, really big hit here. And he's just got more and more Lings coming across the map. He finally starts a lair, too, at home. It's really just going to be about, can Curious continue to hold this off with his mutas?
That is the big question. These Spines are out of position for the mineral line, so he can come behind the mineral line and start working on the drones again.
Yeah, and at this point, it's going to be too long to reburrow those. And look at this. He's just going to try to focus down that Spire. Will he be able to get it? It looks like Curious is trying to stop him.
Oh,
it's going to be so close.
Yeah, he's going to work on the drones as well by the looks of things. Mutas are starting to hatch, but the Spire goes down. The one advantage Curious had in this game is gone.
He's got about 3 mutas on the way. He's already got 3 or 4 of them already out on the map. Looks like he's going to go up to a total of 7, but that will be it. The Spire has gone down.
It's like some Banelings tried to sneak in to the natural line as well.
Yeah.
And we do see quite the worker lead at this point. And if True just keeps this harassment going on, keeps the mutas over that side of the map, and look at this, more drones are likely to go down. Couple more.
Those drones so low.
This is a big problem. He is so far behind. He's got to try and get across the other side of the map with these mutas and start doing damage. More Queens coming out for True as well, so he should have enough anti-air for these mutas.
Look at that production there from True, just making 10 drones at a time. He's going to go so high up. They're going to go to a total of about 49. The mutas are coming across the map. They will be able to snipe a bunch of these overlords, but I don't know. It's going to take a while for them to actually get to the base of True and do any critical damage.
Yeah, and he has to be so careful of these counterattacks. More Lings making their way across the map, and the more drones they get, the further behind Curious will be. He's trying to catch up now. 38 drones to 49 isn't too far behind. He's got a lot of map control right now as well with these mutas. He's going to be stopping any sort of third base going down in the near future.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for True also to remake all the overlords that he just lost. So he can't really make much right now.
Yeah, he's beginning that creep spread down here. Look at this. Looks like he's just trying to trade with the Queens, but there's 4 of them right now.
Yeah, a bit of a desperate trade, I think, at this point. He's, they just have so much transfuse energy at this point. We do see Nidus Network coming down here for True. He wants to end this game.
He wants to, but it's going to be up to these mutas to scout the entire map. Look at this. He's found the Lings at the top. And if he can clean up them all, it's going to stop any sort of threat of these Nidus coming down anywhere close to his base. That is something to be very scared about right now.
It looks like True knows about this as well. He's trying to split up his Lings and possibly get that vision somewhere on the map.
Yep, so far. Still got a few left over. The Lings as well from Curious on the map now. Trying to protect this third base. Looks like he's going to Roaches of his own as well. +1 on the way, and the Roach Warren just finished up. And there it is. The Knight is at the back near the natural.
Oh boy. Just that one Ling able to grant the vision to go for this. Just has not been scouted out by Curious. It's going to be a big foresight here. Tons of Roaches piling into that Nidus, as well as possibly 7 Queens.
Oh, so many Queens. That is way too many for these mutas to deal with. He's going to have to get Roaches out of his zone, or at least make a lot of Spines. He's going to need something to stop this from coming.
Throwing away a lot of links here, not really able to find any damage at all. Looks like he may be trying to snipe that Nidus, but True is on top of that. He's not going to allow him to do that.
Yeah, certainly no. He's going to bring some links around and start working on it, but he can always remake that Nidus now. Queens are at the front. We're in a very safe place, and if he throws a Nidus down, which he will, right next to the Queens, there's no way it's going to go down.
12 health, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Kind of just throwing away lings. Now the Mutas trying to get to work on the Queens, but there's so much energy on them.
They're trying. A lot of roaches coming out for Curious as well, which is probably his one hope if he can get just enough out, but he is so far behind in supply, and it's 19 roaches to 30.
He's only got 2 spines back here as well. He's going to try to fight this with the drones. It's his last stand in this game. True looking to take a game here against Curious and tie up that series.
Beautiful transfuses going down. Still a bit of a disadvantage in terms of concave, but he's killing so many drones at the same time. 18 have gone down.
On a Nidus even being made here in the back door. He wants Curious to get out of this game.
Way too much here. Looks like he's going to have to pull back, maybe out of the spine range to try and finish the job here. And more roaches coming in.
Yeah, he's got so much more on the way. These Mutas so low, not really able to do much damage at all here. And more reinforcements going directly into the back door of Curious. The Roach Warren is going to go down.
Pretty key piece at this point in defending it. Without that, he cannot make any more roaches. Looks like Curious going to try and clean this up at this point. Maybe he has enough, it's hard to say. It's so close.
At the same time, just so many Queens lasting for so long here.
21 roaches to the 10 of True, so he is going to finally be beaten back, but look at the workers' supply. 48 to 24, literally twice the amount True has.
At the same time, Curious does have 3 bases up at this point. He does have that bigger army supply, but this is a big map. It's going to take quite a long time to get all the way across here.
He's going to go for that big counterattack. Curious right now does have twice the amount of roaches.
And he does have that +1. Somehow he was able to sneak that out.
He's going for that one last big counterattack. Maybe if he can get it done here. It's his last hope in this game. You know, his economy is in shambles right now.
Could he possibly do this? It's going to be very close, in fact.
If he can catch these roaches right now, he has a good chance of doing so.
Even the Lynx coming down here, he's going to catch one of those really weak roaches as well. He doesn't have the best concave, though, and he's waiting for more roaches coming across the map.
Oh, he's being fought back. So it looks like he will not get the job done here. Very close, but at least he canceled the third base. So Curious, he is up a base, but he's still quite behind in drones.
That he is, but he does have the better production. He's playing from behind here, definitely, but can he get this through? I mean, as long as these guys stay on just roaches, he is going to still have that upgrade lead for quite a while here.
Yeah, that +1 is going to help out a lot. And look at this +2 on the way as well, which is even bigger for Curious. If he can survive in the game for this long, you know, until that +2 is finished, he's going to have such an advantage. Same time, though, burrow and burrow movement is finishing up for True, which is going to create a lot of problems.
That is true, but Curious now, he's looking to break down that back door just like True did in the last game. Maybe he's going to try to pull apart True here and maybe go for a big snipe on that third base or something. We'll see exactly what he tries to do. Some burrow movement, roaches trying to go towards the base of Curious.
Oh, Curious had identified that the roaches do have the upgrade of burrow movement, so he is making a couple of overseas and maybe starting to become defensive. Slightly behind in the roach count now. Only about 5 though, and he does actually see these burrowed roaches heading towards the natural.
Ooh, that is a perfect position on that overseer. And let's see what he does have to defend here. It is only 4 roaches, but they can do a big number on these drones. That's really what he's going for, this economic damage right now.
Yep, it's the name of the game with these burrowed roaches, and it looks like he's going to clean it up. He's going to keep the overseer above them, but he's got to keep an eye on where everything else is on the map.
This burrow movement roaches surviving for so long, and a bunch of them even coming into here to the third base. That overseer is there, but the roaches are out of position.
Oh no, not paying attention, just slightly out of position. He's going to have to go down and defend against that. Losing that queen as well, going to hurt the production, and more roaches coming in up north near that natural.
Looking to overwhelm here. There's no defense for Curious right now. All these drones in a very critical spot. A lot of them already going down. Curious will win the fight down at his third base, and he has finished +2 attack.
+2 attack is finished, but now the workers have taken such a hit. He's going to lose that natural base as well. So it's going to be a bit of a trade-off here. He might go for one last counter-attack with that upgrade advantage, but that might not be enough at this point.
I really think that's all he can do. Though in this game, he is playing from behind. He needs to get some counterattack damage done. But a lot of roaches building up here for True. Nothing, though, back at the backdoor base.
Yeah, he's going to get a nice concave here. He's going to be able to engage very well, but does he actually have the numbers to make up for it is the next question.
Look at that. True taking the fight there in the north.
Oh, beautiful done by True as well. Burrowing all these drones, so he's not going to be taking any sort of economic damage unless he loses the hatchery itself.
He's trying to go for the roach horn, but he hasn't finished it off. There we go. Now he's really going to be limiting the roaches that can come out of here for True.
A really beautiful move there. True's still mining a lot from this base up top. He's going to be moving on into the main base, and we do see actually a fight up towards the center of the map. It's like roaches versus roaches as well, but Curious actually playing pretty well.
Yeah, he really is, and at this point, True can only make lings. It's not really going to be too good against these +2 roaches. They are going to be upgraded as well. They're all going down so fast. Look at this. He's trying to go for the snipe on that third hatchery at the same time. Is Curious actually going to pull this back?
It's hard to say. I mean, he's going to get the hatchery, but he's going to give up so many roaches. It's going to open up another avenue of a counterattack. But look at that. He has burrows, so he saves these roaches after all.
He has the burrow, and he's still doing a lot of economic damage here in the main. And he will be able to run away at the same time.
He has done such great work with this upgrade advantage. He is looking fantastic. Only just now is True remaking that roach horn as well.
The pressure getting to him a bit. It is understandable, but it could be a crucial mistake here in this game.
Somehow he's found a way back into this. Curious actually playing the game of his life right now. Look at the supply advantage. Mind you, he's doing a great job. He's actually ahead in worker supply as well.
He's somehow pulled it back, and he has the upgrade advantage now. The one thing that he doesn't have is the burrow movement. That's really it.
That's really it. But if he has the roach numbers and the roach advantage, I don't think it'll even matter so long as he has detection.
Exactly. At this point, you know, Curious had map control for so long. True was never really able to put on any harassed damage with those burrow movement roaches.
He's pressured a little too much, and now looks like he's going to go towards that third base, but already Roach is waiting for this kind of counterattack to happen.
In true Curious form, he never really wants to swing the hammer. He just wants to go back home and get even more ahead.
Yeah, well, essentially, he did swing the hammer in a way, getting rid of that third base, doing a lot of damage, trading amazingly. You know, he knows he's in such an advantageous position. He doesn't have to push the issue too far, like True did, for instance. You know, he was ahead, he was doing a lot of aggression, but then he just went a little too far and lost a little too much.
Yeah. Maybe just the experience here for Curious coming through. He's playing the game of his life, as you said before. The burrow movement roaches are going to come in here towards the main, and not much detection there.
Yeah, not much at all, but not much mining in the main either. Just one mineral patch left. Looks like he might try and make his way up, but doesn't look like there's a mining base up there currently either.
Yeah. Curious still just sitting on 2 bases, as is True. True is the only one trying to take that third base over here, and it should be shut down as long as Curious does spot it.
Yeah, look at that. 41 roaches to 25 right now. He is so far ahead. Still, it's going to be a hard fight if he tries to make it through here and fight in a disadvantageous concave, but maybe he just has enough roaches anyway.
He's got the +2 at the same time. It looks like he wants to end this game. True trying to run away.
Oh,
He's going to
man.
pull the drones for this fight. He has the better concave. Can he actually pull off this defense?
Well, when you pull the drones like this, it doesn't even matter if he loses the fight. He's lost the economy, the one last mining base left over, and he's going to win the fight regardless. So it looks like Curious is going to go up 2 games here.
Unbelievable. How is he able to pull this game back in his direction? Curious looking to take this win and get ahead in the finals. True still doing some economic harass, but that's basically all he's got at this point. Still in disbelief, has not GG'd out of this game.
Yeah, he's kind of trying to come to terms with it. He was so far ahead at one point, but Curious just playing absolutely amazing ZvZ. He knew the advantages he had with that +2 attack.
GG. Curious will win game number 2 and gain a huge advantage in this series.
Now that is a tilting game for True if I've ever seen one, you know, in such a position like that, and somehow Curious made his way back. Overly aggressive was True at some points. You know, he had a great build order advantage going up Roach Bane against Mutatech. That's always going to be a hard sort of fight. You need a sort of perfect micro, and Curious just didn't take too much economic damage. He took a lot, but it wasn't enough for him to tap out. Stays in the game, regains map control, and stabilizes, and from there, just upgrades a lot faster than True and has that advantage.
True can barely even believe that he lost that game. He's still thinking over it. That is a really tough loss to take.
Yeah, that is an absolutely insane loss right there. That was such a close game. I'm so impressed with Curious right now.
I'm still shaken up. I've gotten chills from that.
Yeah, that
was an insane game.
That
That's like
doesn't
one of the
happen.
best CVZs I've ever seen.
Yeah, to turn it around like that, it's such a rare thing. But that's the power of +2. I mean, if you've ever needed a great sort of view of what these upgrades can do for roaches in roach battles, +2 makes such a difference.
Well, it's the same unit. They're going up against each other. One unit is going to be slightly stronger. You will gain that lead as well. Guys, we are going to be jumping into game number 3 very shortly here. The map is going to be Coda, another 2-player map for the ZvZ.
Yeah, another 2-player map. You know, these builders can trick them up if they want to try for some sort of risky play, or maybe they're just going to play out another big, healthy macro game again.
Knowing Curious, I wouldn't be surprised if he just went for another 15 pool, 15 hatch, and just played it safe here on out.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. You know, he has nothing to worry about at this point. No risks needed. He could take one if he wants to, though. He's up 2 games right now.
We're going into game number 3, guys. Get hyped. Can Curious end this out here? That is the big question, but up here in the top left, in the red, down 2 games, it is Dead Pixels True.
Has to win 3 games now to take these grand finals. And this player in the bottom right, 1 game away from taking this match and the grand finals here. It is Curious. Playing some of the best games of his life right now. He wants it so badly, and man, that last game, absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's the kind of game where you see it happen in the finals when the player's already up 1-0, and he's just on his game. It's that player where you get this kind of feeling like, who's going to be able to stop this guy? Is he just going to be unstoppable? Is he going to 3-0 True right after True 3-0'd Hyun, one of the best ZvZ players?
It's absolutely insane, and I mean, we kind of saw it on Curious's face. Even after he won that ridiculous game, he was so focused, he didn't even shift. He was completely calm. He knew what he had to do. He's like, okay, I won this one more, and I am a champion finally after so many years of playing in Korea and not really finding that championship. Now is my time. I just got to stay on the path.
It seems like it really is. You know, a lot of programmers really mention in interviews from time to time when they get into this situation, they're just like, I wasn't even thinking at the moment. All I could think about was, I'm going to win. I'm actually going to do this.
Yeah, and it's also a big sort of testament, like, do they freak out when they're that 1 game away? Are they going to try something crazy? Are they going to, burn themselves out of that one last thing they have to do, that one last hurdle?
Yeah.
Curious this time. He's going to take that greedy build after all. It looks like he might go for that gas momentarily as well. So complete great from Curious, and he's made the right choice because True went for that safety pool.
It's pretty unbelievable. At this point, it's just smart play. He's up 2 games. He can take this risk, and he's going to get very far ahead from it.
Yeah, he's going to be looking good, in very good form. True has to rally this game, man. He's going to have to change things up here. He's got 3 games to go before he can become a champion. He's got to try and defeat Curious 3 times in a row. Do you know how hard that is in a ZvZ to beat another Zerg player 3 times in a row?
A Zerg player like Curious as well.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It is such a volatile matchup.
Yeah. We've been seeing Curious throughout this tournament. We've watched a lot of televised games from him from, his very long career, even over in Korea. And it does seem like ZvZ overall is the strongest matchup. He's pretty good in ZVP as well, but he's just looking so dominant here, especially in this series.
Yeah, he really has it figured out so far. Barely winning that last game in a lot of ways there. I'm really impressed. I'll never forget that one Valdez.
Yeah. Well, we do have about 100 gas here for Curious. He is going to be going for that speed.
Yeah, going into the speed, as per usual, as expected on this kind of map, and probably a safety bailing nest at the very least from Curious. He might want to be pressing the issue this time because he does have that build order advantage and that earlier gas, which you'll find out soon enough with these lings.
Yeah, he's moving out on the map right now. We do see True also back at his own base. He got his gas, albeit a little bit later, so that speed is going to finish up a little bit later as well. We'll see if Curious can maybe bait a fight in the middle of the map and use that speed to his advantage. We've seen it happen from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see how many, if any, more lings Curious will commit to at this point. He's droning up for now. He's going to be scouting with these lings, and he's got that bailing nest coming down. Looks like he has no real desire so far to invest in a lot more lings and apply that aggression, though.
Yeah, not really. Just making drones at this point here. At the same time, True pretty greedy himself. Only drones coming out from both of these players.
And look at that. He does actually scout 3 queens, which gives away a lot as well, and probably makes him very safe. He's like, oh, okay, you invested in a lot of queens. I can kind of slow things down here. But instead, he's going to be adding the lings because he didn't see that bailing nest either.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I have an opening here. If I can get us around these queens before they get to the ramp, if I can surprise him and get a couple of banes to zone out all the lings of True, maybe I can shut him down here.
He does have that speed finish. True, though, he's got that Overlord in a great position. He is going to see this coming right away. And all these speedlings making their way across the map. only Lings being made for True.
Yeah, only Lings for now. And let's see if True overcommits to this defense. This is the next thing, because Curious is going into a lair behind this. So Curious isn't going all in whatsoever. He's just going to be, applying the pressure, applying the aggression here, forcing out units that True does not want to be making right now, and it's going to give Curious a head, kind of an advantage, especially in tech.
Yeah, we see him already up 1 drone here, and you guys will see that he's making 5 more back at home. Definitely not an all-in move, as you were saying before. He is still going to try to press some kind of advantage, maybe try to go for some big Baneling hits. Here come the 4 Banelings.
Yeah, more morphing from True, though. 5 Banelings going to be out in just a moment's time. He's looking for the big hits.
Were pretty good there. A lot of the Lings of True going down, but more being spawned here, and they will push Curious back.
Yeah, he's going to push him back, and that's a lot of Lings to counterattack with. I believe we are going to see more Banelings be morphed back at home. He did make a couple of extra sets of Lings just in case. Going to buy time by running these Lings around. But,
it's pretty huge.
Yeah, he's going to go for the kill here. He's making a lot of Lings behind this.
Let's see if he can actually do it. Right now, he is going to be a bit supply blocked. He has identified the fact that there are some safety Banes up there on the top of the ramp. 1 Baneling being canceled out there by Curious.
3 more coming down there. They have finished up. It's going to be a pretty hard defense from Curious. Oh, Lings running past as well. Oh, and wasting a Bane on the Banes instead of actually on the Lings. Big mistake in terms of micro from Curious. He might pay for it with a lot of damage here.
Look at this. So many Lings into the main. They snipe out that Queen, and the Banelings coming in here trying to go for the drones. A lot of them are so weak.
Oh, yeah, taking so much damage here. A lot of drones. 9 drones going down. True takes such a drone lead right now, and he's droning up more and more behind it.
That he is. Only drones from both of these players at this point. The counter-attack damage was pretty crucial there from True. He really needed to get that to get back into this game.
Yeah, that is the very scary thing. But look at this, True kind of misrallying his Zerglings. He cannot afford this either, because there's going to be another counter-attack, this time coming from Curious. Going to try and make up for it while he catches up in drones. We can get some good Baneling hits. Maybe the Lings can do something as payback and actually, even the playing field here.
Yeah, this matchup, man, just so crazy. Back and forth, over and over and over again. It looks like these Banes are going to be walking up that ramp, trying to get the big hits.
Oh, they're
nice.
running on by here. This could be horrible for True. Lings getting in. There's nothing here to defend. He's actually going to be trading drones with them.
Oh, man, Curious getting a ton of damage. Here comes that last Bane.
He's looking for the hit here.
He's coming in. All the drones are bunched up. He's desperately trying to get it, but those drones will be able to get away.
So close, but he's lost all this mining time at the same time. And looks like all the Lings of Curious are going to be eliminated. He's making 14 more. He has to be careful of the next counterattack from True.
We're going to the other side of the map.
Way on the way back. Yep, he's going to be looking for that same kind of damage. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen Curious maybe throw down a Spine Crawl at this point. Lings are going to be meeting in the center of the map here.
I think it definitely would help him out here. Curious once again looking for those big Baneling hits.
Looking for them. He's going to try and keep True away from his base while he catches up in the Ling count. And both of them going for the Spire amongst all this aggression.
Yeah, somehow, some way. It does look like Curious does have the bigger gas bank, also the earlier Spire.
Yeah, that's actually going to be a huge problem for True in this point. He's going to have so many more mutas. And yeah, just the upgrade advantage for Curious is going to be a factor as well, because he does have that earlier Spire. So Carapace will be available a lot sooner as well. And look at this. Oh my goodness.
Transfuse on the Bane is still going to go down.
It's a beautiful thing, but it lasted a little bit longer here. Third base actually going up a lot earlier for True, but
oh man.
Hits.
Gigantic hits. He lost about half of the Lings he was going for there. Look at this.
I think
the Lings are coming in.
Up here, because there's a lot more Lings a moment ago. So both sides taking some big Baneling hits going for these thirds, but no third currently for Curious, which is a big problem. But look at this. 8 mutas are on the way.
This has got to be such a crazy game for True. He's down 0-2, and it's just going back and forth. His mind has got to be exploding at this point.
So much aggression on the map, so much back and forth, counter-attacking. Looks like we got an Overlord Scout looking to see what's coming, and it's going to find the mutas. And from here, Curious has to be very careful, because, he does have the earlier mutas. He has the bigger muta count, but he has his third base so much later, and these mutas are out of position. So if he goes, if this gets canceled once again, that's going to be such a big blow for Curious.
Yeah. Look at this. The Lings are going to come over here and try to cancel that at the same time, distracting the mutas in the main. There's nothing to defend this.
He's going to lose it again. This is a huge advantage for True.
Oh, and he just barely cancels it at the last moment. Does not save the drone. This is just going to delay it even that much further.
This actually might just trigger a big counter-attack from Curious. He does have that pretty hefty muta lead right now. He's also upgrading Carapace. He has to get this third base down while he does this because, you know, the further behind he gets in the gas income, he'll simply just get behind in mutas and lose the game.
You already see True trying to get up those two gases as soon as possible. That is the name of the game when you're going muta versus muta. And still no carapace here for True.
Yeah, this could be a little bit of an oversight here. He wants to get out the mutas as quickly as possible. It makes sense if he's going to be a little bit behind in the muta count, getting those gases a little bit later. But you do need that carapace if it's going to go past this stage of the game, or the mutas are simply going to be too much stronger from Curious.
Yeah,
it makes such a big difference because the bounce gets affected so much by this carapace.
Yeah, it really does. Curious, I'm noticing a bit more confidence in his movements here with the mutas. It looked like he was pretty confident that he had more mutas, but gonna have to be careful when he's fighting into a bunch of these queens as well.
Yeah, he does have the advantage right now. If he cancels the spore, maybe goes for this extractor, it's going to be such an advantage. They're trying to delay the gas. Look at this, Ling's actually going for the hatchery.
So many Lings over here, and not much to respond here from True.
There's actually nothing to respond here. He's going to lose the hatchery at this point. That is absolutely insane.
Curious is zoning him out in the main. He's forcing everything back there, and there we go. The third base does go down.
Curious in such an advantage. It's going to really trigger a huge counterattack once again from True. He's going to have to do the same back to him if he wants an even playing field. But even at that, carapace is moments away from finishing from Curious.
There we go. It is done. What can True really do at this point? It looks like he is going to be going for that counterattack, as you did say. But even at this point, even army supplies, but Curious has got the better upgrades.
Better upgrades. And both players actually supply blocked right now from their overlords. So many Lings looking for this third base. He's going to need these mutas to help out. But look at this. It's going to give up the main base. And now True's going to have a chance to do some real drone damage here.
Let's see what he goes for. It looks like he's going to try to go for the Spire here.
That is an ambitious move. He cannot do that. If the mutas get to the left of True's mutas, Curious can just trade them out completely. There's no way those mutas will escape.
Yeah, he could have actually done that, but he is just going to play a bit safe in true Curious fashion here.
Exactly, Valdez, well said. More counterattacks with these Lings, just kind of scouting out exactly what's going on here. He does have that upgrade advantage. He can bully the mutas of True right now. Maybe try and cancel this third base once again.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like for Curious, he hasn't identified the fact that that upgrade is not yet done. He does have the higher muta count at the same time, so he really could take a big fight if he wanted to.
He's just playing so cautious right now. Big Ling counterattack from True coming his way as well. He's trading out more and more overlords around the map, finding them. And here we go. Bailing is well waiting here.
Yeah, looks like Curious knew that this was going to be the answer. The response from True. Curious will be in position, but he is going to draw all the mutas of Curious out of position, and True will be going for that main.
No support crawler here. Oh, there's one just around the Spire, but, you know, the drones are still very exposed right here. But look at this. This is the move he's been waiting for. He's found the mutas. There's no way he can escape from here. He's going to simply be fly moving if he chooses to, and there we go. And he's going to lose so many mutas, and essentially, he might even lose the game.
Curious got a huge advantage. You guys can see the number.
It's lost for True. That is absolutely insane, but he's got to fix these rally points at some point.
Yeah, that's just not supposed to happen, to be perfectly honest. It's just that one big rally point.
It's not like he has a huge mineral income either, because, you know, that third base has no drones for minerals. It's simply gas. And look at this. Look at that muta ball right now. He can actually DPS down a spore crawler if it desires to. Picking off more overlords, making him even more supply blocks right now.
This is unbelievable. Curious is getting so far ahead.
Now they're going to begin trading, but there's 3 queens behind this, which might lead Curious to avoid the fight for now. Maybe bait out the mutas in a less favorable position.
Nice little run by here into the main. Going to kill a lot of these drones and force some of the Lings back here to defend for Curious.
Oh, look at this. The bounce actually doing so much damage to this hatchery, and this is going to be the final fight.
Looks like Curious just has way too many mutas at this point. The queens on the ground not even really helping out. True had to commit to that attack.
Oh no, and more overlords are going to be going down. So many overlords going down. It's going to be the biggest supply block yet.
He's never going to be able to make units again.
It's going to be a record-breaking overlords lost game, I think, for anyone.
Could possibly be. Curious is playing right now. He probably knows he's got this game won. The Spore Crawler going to go down. The last-ditch effort here for True, rather. Curious looking to end this game here and get his first title ever in his gigantic gaming career. GG! Curious is your champion.
Finally winning a championship, playing some of the best ZvZ I've seen this weekend. We thought coming into this, True might have an advantage, but man, Curious, that game 2, that game 3, so intense. unbelievable.
Unbelievable play from the Zerg player. He's getting lifted up on the shoulders there, and he deserves it.
He does.
Give it up for Curious. Unbelievable win here in the finals.
Really inspiring stuff there. And heartbreaking at the same time for True. You know, he got this far. He was so determined, but there you go. There's your champion, Curious.
DreamHack Open Valencia champion on stage now with his well-deserved trophy.
Absolutely insane, Valdez. What a great tournament we've had here and a great finals. It ended up being rather one-sided, but the level of play was just insane.
Yeah, you really got to hand it to someone who's that good in that one specific matchup to come out and defeat a guy who, as we said before, was able to take out Hyun 3-0. He comes up on the big stage and Curious is like, nah, I don't care. I'm going to take that win. Guys, we're going to go right now to the stage to join our champion with Smix.
Valencia, please give it up for our champion, Curious. Curious, you have gotten so close so many times. You have reached the top 4 at different tournaments, GSL twice, an IEM once, but you've never made it to the grand finals. And today, the first time you made it to the grand finals, you were able to become a StarCraft 2 champion for the very first time. Looking back on all the years of hard practice and hard work, it must mean so much to you. Please describe to us what's going through your head right now. 일단 이게 처음으로 결승 진출해가지고 우승했잖아요. 처음으로 우승자 됐고 그다음에 그 많은 년 동안 연습도 엄청 열심히 했을 텐데 그런 생각을 하면서 지금 무슨 감정이 드세요?
참 여태까지 고생 많이 하고 연습 많이 하고 우승 위해서 달려왔던 그런 과정들이 좀 많이 떠오르고요. 우승을 하는 데까지 시간이 너무 오래 걸려서 사실 울 줄 알았는데 그냥 좋네요, 되게.
He says, it just makes me think about all those times I suffered and practiced so many hours, all with the goal of becoming a champion. And now that I finally reached it, I honestly thought that I would cry, but all I can feel is just sheer happiness right now. And of course, as a champion, I want to give you the opportunity to say something to all the fans that are not just here in Valencia, Spain, but also cheering for you all over online. 일단 이렇게 우승자 됐으니까 이제 팬분들도 엄청 많이 생겼고 여기 많은 팬들도 이렇게 늦게까지 오셨고 그다음에 인터넷으로도 많은 팬들이 생겼는데 그분들에게 한마디만 해주세요.
Thank you. I am very happy.
Congratulations again, Curious. It is time, guys, to hand the checks to our 2 grand finalists here at DreamHack Open Valencia. So let's hand it over to the checks. We have the $5,000 check as well as the $10,000 check. So if True, you can join us on the stage as well. And of course, you guys, as it is with all DreamHacks, we have a special tradition for champions. You may know what I am referring to. It is the infamous DreamHack champagne bottle that we have ready for Curious over here. So at this moment, I will present it to him. DreamHack 우승하게 되면 이거를 열어야 돼요. 네. He's saying, I don't know how to open a champagne bottle. I have never been a champion before, but Curious, you must at least try. 도전이라도 해보세요. 이거를 이렇게 눌러야 돼요. 일단 이거를 내려놓고. Alright, guys, you guys need to help him out here. 이렇게 엄지로 이렇게 누르면 돼요. champion of DreamHack Open Valencia. That will be it for us here on the main stage. Let's hear some closing thoughts from our boys over at the studio desk.
Thank you very much, Smix. An exciting finish to a pretty interesting DreamHack experience. You know, we had a lot of players come out here that were all looking for what could have been their first big championship in an offline event like this in front of a big crowd. Curious, taking it all, and really starting to see a bit of that emotion come out towards the end, especially.
Yeah, he's really one player to really try and get the emotion out of. You know, he's always very calm and docile, but it took winning a DreamHack to really get it out, and that was a lot of fun.
Man, I can't think of like a more deserving player. Like the Gatekeeper, he finally goes out with a championship. And like, you know, now if he wants to retire, he can retire happy. If he wants to keep going on, he can keep going on. He can do whatever he wants now, man.
Man, I really do hope he keeps going on, though. He showed some next level ZvZ this time around, and I think if he keeps riding this wave of success, we're going to see him do very well over in Korea where he lives.
Yeah. I mean, like in pro gaming, like these guys never get the happy ending. The guys who just grind at it for years and years. I mean, you rarely see this kind of thing. That effort is not always rewarded like this. This is like a rare sight.
I'm really agreeing with you here, Wax. This guy deserves it more than anyone else here possibly in this tournament. He finally gets it, and he looks so happy on stage. You can even see in those final moments, he may be a calm guy, but you couldn't help but let it out just a little bit as that champagne bottle opened.
Yeah, so certainly a deserved victory over a lot of really good players that came out to play this weekend here at DreamHack Open Valencia. There's there's not much else to say. We had a lot of really good games, and at some point we're going to get to take another look at this bracket as well. Just a quick refresher, we can recap. You know, very interested to know what all your guys' favorite series were as well. We had a lot of games, but at the end, you know, the two Zergs came out, and Curious was on top.
Yeah, just taking a look at all of these series, one of the biggest ones for me was Fantasy versus Red. Even just like a really entertaining TvZ there. Red really giving it his all, but in the end, Fantasy just barely making it through. Also, Patience getting in over Fantasy, the big upset, and making it into that semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, I say some people, especially Curious, to think about it now, sweating a couple of bullets. You know, that series against Marine Lord, things got pretty hairy as well. You know, he could have been knocked out already in the earliest phase of the day.
Yeah, the champion's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Enjoying the spoils of war.
Oh, yeah. He is.
Man, like when he won that, when he got to the semifinals of Codes like last season, it just felt like he wasn't getting any respect. Like that's a hard achievement. He's been around for a long time. It's just, I don't know. It's just you got to win the big one.
Yeah.
Really, really, really happy for Curious to be able to take this championship title, of course. Our DreamHack Open 2015 Valencia champion. Guys, this is only the second stop here for DreamHack Open for StarCraft 2 in 2015. We will be back in September with DreamHack Open Stockholm. We will crown another champion, so there is more to come. The road does not end here. Any final thoughts you guys have on this tournament series? I've had a lot of fun here this weekend.
I just hope we see Curious in the next DreamHack and more of the same performance. You know, I'm really so happy that he's finally found his feet and his success that he's deserved.
That's really the big thing for me. Curious, please do not retire. Please stay here. You're such a fantastic player, and I think you can only go up from here.
All right. Any closing thoughts, Wax?
Man, like I just remember reading a comment in the forum thread saying, you know, if you're not cheering for Curious here, then you don't like StarCraft 2, and I really feel that way. You know, this guy's worked so hard for so long, and he really deserves this one.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for your opinions, your feedback, your commentary over the course of this weekend. We went through a lot of StarCraft, and of course, big thanks to Funka as well, who has been observing every single game, bringing us all the insight, being able to keep track of everything, and of course, Smix on stage, and Todd, who is somewhere right now. But that's going to be it here from us in Valencia, Spain. We'll see you guys for DreamHack Stockholm at the end of September.